Are you a supernaturally curious travel enthusiast? Do you enjoy road trips to the middle of nowhere, ghost towns, UFOs, phantoms of the opera? Well, then you've come to the right place because I am the ghost tourist, and this is Weird Nevada.
A ghost I fear is near me, dear. A ghost has slipped into my world.
Hey, good morning. We rented a car in Las Vegas and we're preparing to head north into the desert for a very full day trip. It's about 8 a.m. right now and we likely won't get back until about 9 or 10, so we're stocked up on snacks and water. We're gonna hit up some Nevada ghost towns, and I hear there are a few very eccentric roadside attractions along our way, so prepare for a spooky, fun adventure today. And we're driving immediately into the weird. About 90 minutes northwest of Las Vegas, along Highway 95, you'll find the Area 51 Alien Center. It's like if a truck stop and a souvenir shop birthed a weird extraterrestrial baby. Area 51 is the cornerstone of American conspiracy theory and has captivated the curious for decades. Shrouded in secrecy, this classified facility is located just beyond the mountains and is still operational today. Obviously, it's inaccessible to the public, but anyone in the market for some outer space vodka, novelty t-shirts, and other extraterrestrial-themed activities can come visit the Area 51 Alien Center. And joining us on our adventure today is fellow weird enthusiast and amateur military historian, Brett Lambie.
Hey, you ready to learn about Area 51?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Let's get weird.
So, the incident in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947 cast the nation's eyes to the skies in search of extraterrestrial aircraft. While here, Area 51, they remained off the radar until about 1989.
When a man named Bob Lazar thrust the base into the national spotlight.
He claimed that he reversed engineered alien spacecraft and that he had seen evidence of alien autopsies and what he called little gray men. However, he has since been debunked, but that hasn't stopped any speculation or conspiracy theories that persist to this day.
So what happens at Area 51 today? No one knows. It's still top secret.
Area 51 is bound by warning signs and patrolled by unmarked white SUVs. Trespassing can prove fatal. Even the site's employees dare not cross the perimeter on foot or by car. Instead, they commute from a restricted terminal at Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas aboard a fleet of 737s marked only by a single red band along the length of the fuselage. These commercial jets are known only as Janet Airlines. Some say the acronym stands for Joint Air Network for Employee Transportation. However, considering its classified destination, I prefer the more mysterious moniker, just another non-existent terminal.
Area 51 is a sprawling 368,000-acre military complex that also encompasses what was once the Nevada test site, now essentially a radioactive ghost town.
So far behind us, here in southern Nevada, is the Nevada test site, where about 982 nuclear tests were conducted between 1951 and 1992 until there was a test ban treaty.
Okay.
Up until 1963, there were about 100 nuclear tests that happened here that were above ground.
Yeah, it's crazy. It actually used to be a popular tourist attraction in Las Vegas, like back in the 50s.
That's right.
They would come, like the mushroom clouds would get so high that you could see them from the hotels on the Strip. Las Vegas proclaimed itself the Up and Atom City. Bartenders mixed up atomic-themed cocktails. They held beauty competitions for Miss Atomic Bomb, who was said to radiate loveliness instead of deadly atomic particles. And when a young Elvis first performed in 1956, he was even billed as the atomic-powered singer.
So actually the explosions were so big and so bright that it looked like a false sunrise. They would call these parties dawn parties.
No, thank you. Hey everyone, if you're liking the video so far, hit that subscribe button. It'll help me to keep making these videos and bring the adventures to you. The sun is finally coming out. Ah! Head about another 40 minutes north and you'll find the small town of Beatty.
Really good beef jerky, pistachios.
I could go for some pistachios.
It's cool. That's nice, bro. Real nice, actually.
The town was once a railway center for the Bullfrog Mining District, and today has a local population of 847, as well as a number of wild burros. Beatty is pretty much the only town around here if you want to stop for lunch. So, if you're looking for a local dive, we hit up Happy Burro Chili for lunch. You walk in and it definitely has that old kind of Wild West saloon vibe. We do feel like the out-of-towners here. The walls are covered in plaques from chili competitions and looks like lots of little burros all around. The options here are chili or hot dog, so luckily they make a pretty good cup of chili. Just outside Beatty, you'll find one of the Silver State's most well-preserved ghost towns. Is that a penguin? This is Rhyolite. Rhyolite's history began when gold was discovered on August 9th, 1904. Wander around and you'll see the skeletal remains of a bank, grocery shop, and train depot. Nowadays, the landscape is a little apocalyptic, but back in its heyday, this town had 53 saloons, 3 train stations, a stock exchange, 3 pools, a school, even an ice cream parlor. The population boasted 8,000 people, and there were 85 mining companies active in the hills around the city. But the gold boom went bust only 3 years later in the Panic of 1907, and by 1915, the power and lights were turned off. Soon, the weeds began to grow, but luckily, this unique bottle building caught the attention of a Hollywood location scout. The home was originally built in 1906 by Tom Kelly using adobe mud and 50,000 glass bottles. It was restored and re-roofed by Paramount Pictures in 1925, and now it's a historical landmark. People still visit the scattered, sun-bleached bones of Rhyolite today, as well as the various haunting works of art at the nearby 15-acre outdoor sculpture park. They also come to visit the grave of Mona Belle. Legend has it that she was a beautiful woman, the most beautiful woman in town, who had left one husband and eloped with another to Rhyolite in 1906. Some say she was a dancer, some say prostitute, but they all say she was murdered in cold blood in 1908 by Fred Skinner, her partner in crime, and a real hot-tempered ne'er-do-well. Given the couple's unsavory reputation and the local women's jealousy, they say Mona Belle was buried outside of town in an unmarked grave. It has become customary to leave her gifts of alcohol, Mardi Gras beads, high heels, or anything else, really. Dozens of EVPs have been collected over the years, but, as is often the case in Nevada history, the truth is stranger than fiction. It was discovered that Mona Belle's body was in fact buried in Washington State, so perhaps the true inhabitant of this grave has been trying to tell her story to anyone who will listen. So we're heading back south, going west beyond the giant cow, and we're crossing the border into California. Now, just before we reach Death Valley National Park, you'll come upon this singular complex. Death Valley Junction is an almost ghost town, with one exception. This is the Amargosa Opera House and Hotel. It was a former borax mining complex that sat abandoned and derelict for years until 1967 when a New York City ballerina came to town. Marta Beckett fell wildly in love and willed the property back into existence. She performed every night for 4 decades, sometimes to a painted audience rather than a real one. Marta passed away in 2017 at the age of 92, and today there are weekend performances hosted in Marta's honor. The hotel is currently open, but had some extensive damage from Tropical Storm Hilary in August of 2023, when Death Valley was pummeled with a year's worth of rain, about 2.2 inches, in one single day. Overnight guests, be warned. The hotel has a serious reputation for being haunted. Reports include a crying child, a phantom cat that interrupts performances, and some potentially malevolent miners. Mining was a perilous business. Men lived and died here in brutal conditions, so it's no surprise their spirits may be restless. On the edge of the property, one section of the complex was never reopened. It was once a hospital and morgue. The staff members refer to it as Spooky Hollow. It's blocked off to visitors and they don't like to talk about it, although they did grant access to Ghost Adventures if you want to find that episode. I only had time to wander around for a few minutes, but I'd love to hear anyone's stories if you survived an overnight stay. Please feel free to share them down in the comments. All right, here we go. We're about to enter Death Valley National Park. Looks like they're still doing some road work and maintenance here from all that flooding back in August. We're stopping here to pay our entrance fee. It's $30 per car. I can't get over how quiet it is. We're both New Yorkers. Death Valley is otherworldly. It's one of the hottest, lowest places on Earth. And it's not named Death Valley for no reason. There's more ghost towns here than actual ones. Dried up boom and bust towns that disappeared as soon as the gold and silver ran out. Nevada and California's histories are deeply intertwined. Both states were essentially created by their gold and silver rushes, but also lesser-known minerals like borax, aka Death Valley's white gold. These are the ruins of the Harmony Borax Works, opened in 1883. This land was once an ancient salty lake bed, and borax deposits were gathered from the desert floor and purified at the works, then shipped via a 20-mule wagon team to the railhead at Mojave. What is borax, you might ask? It's a type of salt, a white powdery mineral or crystal, and has many industrial and household uses, such as pottery glazes, china, enamel, fiberglass, antiseptics, fertilizers, and pesticides, to name only a few. Again, in case I didn't stress it enough, mining was brutal work, and here, in one of the hottest places on Earth, it was hellish. Perhaps that's why the Harmony Borax Works was only operational for 5 years, and in 1888 it was abandoned to quietly fall into ruin. We're cruising through this beautiful oasis right now. That's the historic inn at Death Valley. We're coming back for dinner, but right now we are chasing the sunset.
Guys, look, more rocks.
It looks like driving on Mars.
Could that be water?
Yeah, that's the Water Basin. It's usually a big, dry salt flat, but it has a couple inches of water in it right now from all the storms this year. And it's the lowest point in North America. It's 282 feet below sea level. All the color in the hills here comes from volcanic deposits like iron oxides and chlorite. We planned to get here at sunset because they say that's when the colors are the most enhanced and vivid. It's also really interesting to watch as the shadows fall across the mountains.
The elevation sea level, right there is the sea level. We're at sea level right now.
That new moon. We're gonna have some good stars tonight. This is the inn at Death Valley, formerly the Furnace Creek Inn. Built in 1927, it quickly became a getaway for the Hollywood elite. Natural springs run through the grounds, and the place recently had a $200 million renovation, so it's quite luxurious out here in the middle of nowhere. We had an awesome dinner and got to chat quite a lot with our server, Gary.
The poem is My Desert Kingdom by Gary Bryant, that's me. Hear a storm rush the canyon, the salt upon stone, sense infinity gazing at starlight alone. Touch the fading of twilight, the glow of the moon. Feel the sun's fearsome might one July afternoon. See immensity striking, defiant, profound. Speak directly to nature, not making a sound. Smell the air losing moisture, a land going dry. Know the essence of water, the promise of sky. And that's my poem.
There are rumors that the inn is haunted, and Gary says he hopes it's true, but hasn't experienced anything himself. Most of the stories do come from the restaurant staff, however, who claim the kitchen and dining room have been rearranged more than once in the dead of night. Many believe it's the spirit of a former chef who died in 1973. It seems like he was maybe a bit too devoted to his job. So we're here in Death Valley National Park. Still, it's obviously nighttime. It is fully dark, pitch black out here. We are going to do some stargazing. This park is open 24 hours and is an awesome place to stargaze. It's rated gold tier by the Dark Skies Association. So we're really excited to see, just to see the Milky Way and see if we find anything stranger up in the night sky.
Yeah, maybe some spacecraft.
We're going to turn this light off so our eyes can acclimatize to the darkness. So wish us luck. Thanks. Look, we all know iPhone's pretty bad in low light, so here's some stock footage of what the night sky is like here. Standing under the dim glow of the new moon, I definitely grasped the meaning of Gary's poem. That sense of infinity you get when you're here in this place. The gold and silver may be gone from this region, but the desert is still rich with scenic natural beauty and bizarre, strange, illogical, powerful human creativity. There's a stubborn will to live outside boundaries here. Nevada does not color within the lines. It's been an amazing day. Thank you for watching. I'm the Ghost Tourist. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. If you'd like to support the show, please consider becoming a monthly Patreon subscriber. For only $5 a month, you'll get exclusive access to behind-the-scenes, bonus stories, travel itineraries, and more. Find the Ghost Tourist on Patreon.